Okay, we're on. Welcome
Here
back.
we are, another show.
Another show, another night,
That's it.
another rush. You only got home about 10 minutes ago.
Probably got home from work about 10 minutes
Oh
ago, so
dear,
it is a bit of a rush.
everything's a rush. Yeah. I think we said we haven't had a day off in about 4 weeks, have we? Just different shows and
We've done a lot of fairs lately. So
Yeah.
last week we did the Ballarat Outdoor Living Expo as Golden Relics. And the week before that we did the Seymour Expo, and the week before that we had National Detecting Day. So
and I was in WA for 2 weeks.
You were in WA for 2 weeks.
Quick trip.
That's right, before that. So
All right. Up. Okay, go back. We just changed the batteries in this. It wasn't working too good, so it's got to go.
What are we talking about
Tonight's topics: stock update, which you generally do.
The newsletter rundown.
The gold and relic of the week. That's my favourite part.
They once raced here video part 2.
Yep. And yeah, remember guys, just keep asking them questions and hopefully we can answer them. Okay,
We've got 2 winners this week, and we're giving away first aid kits. So where are the first aid kits? Do we have them? No. They must be in the shop still.
they're still in the shop. Yeah. There's a picture, I believe, up there of them, so yeah, they'll get an idea.
Yeah, so these are some that we sell in the shop. So they've got 50 pieces in there. So with all your bandages, your antiseptic wipes, and more for treating minor injuries. And they come in a waterproof storage container with a carabiner and a lanyard included. So 2 lucky winners for tonight.
Yep, tonight.
So comment if you've been prospecting in WA before.
Gee, I think a lot of people have gone to WA, but I know a lot would like to go because,
Kind of like everybody you talk to say, if they haven't been, they say, yeah, I really want to go there.
It's on their bucket list. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we've been going for, what?
I think it was about 95 started, going over there. Everything all right, Talisha?
Talisha's done a dash.
She's done a dash. Yeah. Well, hopefully they've got sound and everything, and
Yeah, let us know, guys, if you can't hear us
or something's wrong.
Or something.
I think every week there's something
that
goes wrong. Anyway,
That's it.
like I said to someone today, it's real.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. Well, somebody said to me the other day, they said, I like watching your show. It's quite comical. So it's kind of not what we have intended, but it ends up being
Well, anyway, got to have a laugh.
That's it.
Right, our Easter hours.
So for the first time this year, we are actually closing on Easter Saturday.
Yeah.
So, as we said before, we've been working double time basically for the last couple of months. So we're going to have Good Friday off. This is when the shop is closed. Good Friday, Easter Saturday, Easter Sunday, and Easter Monday.
Yeah.
So we'll be back on Easter Tuesday.
Yep.
So, yeah, if you need your gear then, guys, we'll be around normal hours.
Looking forward to it. Yeah.
But looking forward to having a little bit of a break. Yes. Yeah.
Like people have been saying, we're burning the candle both ends, and
No, we've been super busy lately, so.
Talisha's back.
And Talisha is back.
We've got a slight lag because we forgot to move the Wi-Fi out.
Okay.
Oh, okay. There's been a slight lag because the Wi-Fi didn't come out close enough
Did you move it out?
to where we are.
No, because then I've got to stop the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
right.
yeah, there might be a slight lag, guys. So sorry if the internet isn't quite up to speed tonight, but let's just see how we go.
Yeah. Okay. The stock update.
So made for muffs, so they're those hats with the holes in it for your headphones, which have been going really, really well. They're just not stopping at the moment.
Yeah.
So we can't get blue anymore by the sound. We have got some blue in the shop though, I believe. But only a couple of smaller sizes. And we can't get the extra large in the green either. So we're a little bit limited on sizes, guys. And as soon as our distributor has them, we'll be getting some and getting them out to you. So if you want them, let us know. We'll put you on the order list and let you know, or send it out as soon as we've got them in stock.
Yeah, got a heap of pans in and scoops and classifiers.
Yeah, they're just going out on the floor tomorrow, I hope.
Yeah.
And we also got in the GME external speakers and the booty boosters. So
Okay. Yeah.
That'd be good.
Anyone who doesn't know what the external speaker, it's when you're running a GPX 5000 or 45 or any of the other ones, you can plug it into your battery and have it up here, and it's just really good on them hot days rather than wearing earmuffs, I suppose. But you know.
And we also put out a few double D bags today too, the carry bags for the detectors.
Yeah.
So we've got a few of those in stock. They're the nice thick padded bags. So
Quality.
they're really good to carry your gear around in and keep it from scratching and bouncing around in the back of your car.
That's it. Okay. Gee, the gold price. Last week it was 161 when we were talking about it. As 6 o'clock tonight, it was 163.05. So it's gone up $2. But I think it was last Friday, it went up to about, was it 166.50? And I thought, beauty, here we go. And we bought a bit in the shop and then it come down again. But yeah, look, it will go back up again. It will go.
A few people selling their gold today, weren't there?
Quite a few people, you know, and we've got something to show you a little bit later on,
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
So what is the gold price doing? What's it going to do? What's your guess?
My gut feeling is it's just going to come back a little bit. It always comes back a little bit before it goes up even higher. You know, I read a lot of reports and that to do with the gold, and I see that whether it's true or not, I don't know if to believe it, but America has sent hundreds of ships or planes with supplies over to Iran way. So who knows what Trump's going to do? But
it's a bit volatile, isn't it, at the moment, which has been good for gold.
Yeah.
You just don't know what's going on in that head of his. So.
Yeah, and some people say, oh, you know, I don't think I'll buy gold because it's peaked. Well, people were saying that when it was $100 a gram. Now it's $160.
It's a bit like saying the property market's peaked, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's going to keep going up.
Yeah. And just remember, guys, please ask questions in the comments, and we can sort through them. Talisha can put them up at the end, and hopefully we can answer them. Okay. Wow.
So the next thing we've got up to talk about is winning the ultimate Minelab Gold experience.
Yeah. What a great photo that is.
I love that. It looks so good.
Yeah, it's just exciting, and it's great photo.
Right. Wouldn't we all like to be that man sitting on that big rock of a nugget?
Yeah. So the prizes include flights, 7 nights in tent accommodation, all meals and drinks, non-alcoholic. The use of the latest Minelab detectors, which will be the 6000s. Probably might even be a 7 there for that person to use. But
I thought you were going to announce a new detector or something.
Well, everyone wishes. And transport, to top secret gold locations. Okay. Expert training from a Minelab rep. I know the bloke, he's a good bloke, and I know also the prospecting professionals that are running it. They're really good blokes too. And it is the ultimate gold hunting trip, and it could be yours.
It could be. And I was just looking at that non-alcoholic drinks. I think usually we do a run in.
Yeah, we do.
For a bit of an alcohol run, which
we do.
Can get a bit dicey though, because over in WA they have very tight regulations around what you're allowed to order. So we might have to chat up a nice publican, I think.
I do know one over there, but in
the right place.
So how you win the ultimate gold, the MindLab Gold experience, you've got to buy a selected MindLab metal detector between April the 4th and May the 4th. Look at that, May that 4th, that's going to come around real quick.
It's going to come around very quick. It's only a couple of weeks away now.
Yeah.
We're probably halfway through this.
Yeah, yeah. And I know we've been selling a few detectors, so yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So you've got to just fill out the form, upload proof of purchase. The more purchases, the more entries they get. It's like, for example, if they buy a Go Fine 22, they get 1 entry. If they buy the top end gold machine, which is the GPZ 7000, they get 6 entries. So the more you spend, the more chances you get, which is fair enough.
That's right. No, that'll be so cool. And the MindLab person, was it MindLab rep, was that the word?
Your MindLab rep.
Is there to pretty much guide the winner. Is that right? Have I got that right?
Yeah. To hold his hand, I suppose, and show him where all the gold is, or was. Yeah, but no, it will be a real fun trip, that one. Yeah.
It will. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. It'd be good. Good.
And maybe people know from our comments, but yes, that is a Golden Relics tour. That,
it is.
They're coming on. So
Yep.
yeah, thank you, MindLab, for putting that together. That's just amazing.
No, it'll be good. We what we do at night time, we have a fire and a few talks and a few drinks. And then generally after tea, we've got a big screen and a projector and show movies like The Nugget and a few other ones. Yeah. The Red Dog, I've seen it about 1 million times, but I still like watching it. But yeah, no, it's a really, really fun trip.
Detectorist?
Yeah. I've got to get the Detectorist too because I haven't seen that.
Okay.
And,
Okay, good.
Okay.
Newsletter. So, this is our big find, isn't it?
No, not this one. Not yet. Not yet.
Oh, okay. Right.
Don't let the cat out of the bag yet.
Okay. So this one was found with a MindLab GPZ 7000 and a Nugget Find 12-inch coil. So his customer, while he was out prospecting, they decided to, small gold nuggets? No, they detected
two small gold nuggets in the same hole. The first nugget was found at about 100 mil deep, and then they went back over the hole and got another one down, a bit deeper.
150 mil.
Yeah. And the customer said he couldn't be happy with the performance of the GPZ 7000 and the Nugget Finder 12-inch combo. Detecting, as he said, was a ripper setup, And I've seen this many a times where people have got a nugget in the hole, got all excited, walked away, and filled their hole in, I hope, but walked away and haven't gone back over that dirt. I had a customer on one of my tours at Creswick when we were doing a tour around Slady Creek, and he got 12 bits out of one hole.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. So, and another time I had a customer, Elizabeth, I don't know if she's watching, but she got a nugget one evening and she said the next day, can we see how you detect, Darren? So I took the group down to where the patch was and she said, that's where I got my 1 gram piece. She said, yesterday. And I went over a hole and there was a noise in it. And she went red as a beetroot. And I cleaned the hole out and I dug down a bit deeper and there's another 1 gram nugget in the same hole. And I pulled her aside later on, and not in front of the group, but I pulled her aside and I said, look, that's a lesson learnt. You'll never do this again.
And she's a good detective, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's a good operator.
It was only a 1 gram nugget. Imagine if it was a 1 ounce or something, you'd be,
you'd be kicking yourself.
You'd be kicking yourself. Okay, next. They're the first aid kits, the ones that we're giving away on the left-hand side, the 50-piece ones. So that's the shop pick of the week.
Yep.
I suppose you'd call it.
Yep. Okay, the rundown, the tip. Okay, what's the tip for this week about extending the life?
To extend the life of your lithium batteries, avoid letting them drop below 20%. Keep the charge level above this threshold, helps preserve their capability and capacity. I can't see it, couch is in the way, and longevity. Yeah. Look, each time I come home with me 6,000 batteries, I just put them on charge, whether they've done an hour or 3 hours. And a lot of people say, how long do the batteries last in a Minelab detector? I find on average, I'd have to say 6 to 8 hours. There's a lot of variables there, like if you're running big coils, they will flatten that battery more. If you're in a high trash area, it's a few variables there.
It's a bit like saying how long do tyres last, isn't it?
Yeah.
And your mate today was complaining that his tyres don't last.
Yeah.
And the way he took off from the shop, no wonder.
Damien's got anyone who knows their cars, it's a Jeep Trackhawk, and I think it's got about 900 horsepower at the rear wheels, and each tyre cost him, I think he said, $1,500. So don't complain when I buy tyres for $400. Okay. Golden Relic Tours.
So we've got our Victorian one-day tours and training. We've only got about another month at the most for these ones, because we finish up mid-May and when we go to the west, and then we come back and resume those tours in September.
Yep.
So we've also got some WA tours still happening. There's been a few people sort of shifting spots and so forth lately. So we've got one spot left on the first Kalgoorlie trip, which had been sold out for a while. We've got 6 spots left on the second Kalgoorlie all-inclusive trip. We've got 1 spot left on the first Leinster tour. And we've got 5 spots left on the second Leinster all-inclusive trip.
And the second one at Leinster, that's going to be the one, with the Minelab rep. And I think that's going to be a ripper.
Yeah,
They're
I think so.
Have some laughs.
I wonder if there's any freebie hats. Minelab, you listen?
I'm sure there will be. I'm sure there'll be some freebies on that one. And we'll learn things off.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Minelab rep, and they'll learn things. And look, like I said, I learn stuff off the customers too.
Learn stuff every day.
Yep, you learn something every day. The day that you say you know it all.
And we have some pretty innovative customers too, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
we do.
They come in with all these different ideas, and if I do this, well, then will that affect that, and then I'll do that.
On the tag along tours, I see Kalgoorlie, there's 4 spots left. The Murrin is sold out. The Walloona one is sold out. And the Meekatharra, there's 6 spots left. So
that Kalgoorlie one was sold out before too, but we've had, like we say, we've had a few people move and cancel due to ill health and that sort of thing.
And stuff happens.
Oh, that's right, it does.
It does. And if you give us enough notice, we'll put you on next year, or
we do our best.
We do our best. We understand. Okay. Scan the QR code to join the newsletter and go into the $50 competition with photos, like we say, of anything you find. It doesn't have to be gold. It can be a relic. It can be, I don't know.
Could be anything, really.
Could be.
Even whatever you get out of prospecting.
Right.
I know there's a lot of talk about mental health these days, and how prospecting can be great for your mental health. So even if it's something along those lines, you find good mental health.
I tell you what I'd like a photo of, guys, and that is a black cat, big black
cat.
Puma cat. I've actually seen one, but that's another story.
Well, go on, tell us.
Used to do a lot of spotlighting with my uncle, and what we used to do was drive along the road with a spotlight in the car. if we saw a fox or a bright set of eyes, we would stop, jump the fence with a carrion battery and the rifle, get reasonably close and then turn the spotlight on. And one night we were out near Cruciang Way, which is Dalesford, real rocky country. We saw this set of eyes and we stopped the car. The wind was blowing towards us, so he couldn't smell us. And we jumped the fence, walked up into the rocks a bit, and towards the rocks. We turned on the carrion battery, the spotlight, and there was a black puma.
I bet you didn't hang around too long.
Nah, we shited ourselves. Our hairs stood up. People saying, oh, it might have been just a black cat. I think I know a big feral cat to what I saw, but yeah, anyway, some people think it's all BS, but there's been too many of them seen.
Yeah, it's been a lot of sightings, haven't there?
Yeah, but no. Okay. Anyway, that's enough of that. Next, they once raced here is a video coming up.
Racecourse was one of the main features of any Victorian town, no matter how large or small that town would be. And that's the case here at Newstead. I'm Edward Sadler. Welcome to They Once Raced Here. The author of They Once Raced Here is Chris Ganley. And Chris, we've done the piece together on Wood End, really enjoyed that, built up a bit of trust there. We're using that here because you said jump in the car and follow me. That's what I've done. Where am I?
Yeah, no, it's a very good question, a good starting point. So we're in the Loddon Campaspe area. We're about 17 kilometres away from Castlemaine and about 30 kilometres away from Dalesford. Some would say the middle of nowhere, I'd say not quite. And your intro is right, Ed. You know, every country town pretty much had a racecourse. This one, to me, evokes what country racing was all about. This is my favourite racecourse so far in doing this journey, you know, and I'm 3 books into the 5-book series, and this is the one that I come back to. I've probably been here 20 times. My wife's had enough of it, so I brought you guys along today.
I'm sure, in fact, we will enjoy this more than your wife has been enjoying this lately. What is it that you love about Newstead?
I think what I like about this is it's not pretentious. It's well laid out. It's got the very typical infrastructure that you see. We're going to see some stuff later about the running rail, the size of the track, all those types of things. So to me, this is just one of those quintessential country tracks, you know. So they started racing here in 1860 and they finished in 1968, January 1968, New Year's Day 1968. They didn't expect to finish. It came as a shock, you know, and it was a big shock. But it was in that late 60s period where there was a lot of racecourse rationalisation taking place. So yeah, the final meeting here, January the 1st, 1968, brought down the shutter on this racecourse. So we're now here, you know, 56 years later, and there's still stuff here to see. And to me, that's what this journey is about. That's what my journey around documenting and finding these racecourses in Victoria is all about.
So to put that into perspective, first meeting here in 1860, Melbourne Cup was first run in 1861. They enjoyed then 108 years of history here. There's quite a bit to look at.
Oh, absolutely there is, you know, and there's some amazing, you know, stories around things here and what took place here and people just enjoying it. It's one of those racecourses though, Ed, where it's been very hard to find memorabilia and things, right? It's one of those courses where, as your first question, not many people know where Newstead is and even less realise that there was a racecourse and a fully fledged racecourse here, right? You know, we're talking a track just under 1,700 metres. We're talking a track that had, a railway line on the side of it, which very useful back in the time to get people here, get people away, get the horses in. So, you know, a great location and, you know, a rich history of racing.
Okay, yeah, they once raced here. Yeah, we're selling a lot of them books too, but
That's been really popular,
Yeah.
those books, yeah.
he's very knowledgeable on race courses,
He
and
does a lot of research too, yeah.
research is key, and that's something I'll be talking about later on.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, like, why not? Like, how many years would it take you to do all the research that's in one
yeah.
of those books?
Yeah, knowing where,
Yeah,
you
so
know.
they're a great value as a research tool.
Okay, gold of the week. Wow, what can I say? Some customers come into the shop today to sell me some gold, and he said, I've got something to show you. And it was 532 grams, found with an Equinox 800. Again. Look, he said it is up for sale, but yeah, he's looking at, over gold price. So yeah, anyone that's interested in it, you know, give us a call or send us an email.
Wasn't it found just, am I allowed to say? Yeah.
In a cow paddock.
In a cow paddock.
In a cow paddock. The customer was looking for relics actually, and found that in just a loamy soil. And I was telling him I have heard of that before. I know a chap that was in a sheep paddock down towards Baringa and picked up an ounce bit on a sheep track. So, whether it was a horse and dray going down to a creek through the paddock and it fell off, or I don't know. Yeah,
it's interesting where you find gold actually, because remember Anna the other day, she was saying in Kalgoorlie they used to have these trains that would come out of the mines, and as kids they would be searching for gold on the railway tracks after this train had gone past, because they had all the ore, in these carts, and occasionally they'd find a little gold nugget on the tracks. So how funny is that?
I know everyone's going to be saying, oh, you've just bought it out before Easter. We've got nothing to gain, guys, because we're closed Saturday. So, you know, like when we bought out that big specimen that time, people saying, oh, it's school holidays coming up. But if it's not school holidays, it's not Easter, it's not the Queen's birthday weekend, it's not school holidays, it's not Christmas. Public holiday.
National Detecting Day. Or
but
there's always something around, but I mean, it's a year-round thing. And this guy literally came in today. With this nugget.
Today.
So we just sort of thought, well, let's put that in the show. And he was happy for us to do that.
Well, he actually said to us, oh, do you want to show it on your show tonight? There will be a video going up tomorrow, is that right, Talisha? Yeah. Just showing the other sides and that. But starting nugget, it's what we all dream of. You know, I just like seeing gold. I don't care if it's a 1 grammer or what's that? That's about 16, 17 ounces, that one, I think. I think it would be worth, someone's probably got a calculator out there, but it's probably worth about $90,000 plus. Okay. And you might think that's a bit. Maybe in 6 months that might be worth 180. You know, so
I don't know, do you?
no. I remember when gold was $100 a gram, and people saying, "Oh, it's peaked. It's too dear now. Look at it." Anyway, stunning piece. Well done. Relic of the week.
Is that it?
That's it. I bought this many years ago. There's a picture of it up on the screen. But it was a woman's husband who worked at this mine, and at Christmas time, they were given one of these each. Must have had a good year, and it's 15 grams. And on the back, it's got a number. Oh, gee, my eyes aren't that good. And it's got 24 carat. I think it's number 46.
846, is it? Oh, 046.
046.
Yeah, 046.
So it's number 46. So they must have been given out a few. Well, it's not quite half an ounce, but
That's cute, isn't it?
yeah, it's
Colour gold.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that mining. I've heard early days. I know back in the 80s, I had shares in a company called Gold Quest, but I lost everything. But we won't go there. But I haven't heard of this one, Reef Mining. I'm sure someone would have out there, but
I thought thought the only reason you had shares in that Gold Quest was because of the once a year annual meeting.
The AGM. You went there and all the food was just laid on, drinks, alcohol.
I know, I went there once.
Yeah, it was incredible. It was it was really good. I remember that.
So much food.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah. Okay, now I've got to talk for a bit.
Okay, here's your books.
Right. You'll find before computers, like I'm not great on computers, but I like the old reference books. Now, the old reference books, I'll show you a few. This is, a lot of people would have heard of this one here, Golden Ghosts. This is volume 1, which is of Western Australia. It's the Bible of the goldfields in WA.
I remember we used that on our first trip
We
over
did.
there.
And if I couldn't get an ounce a week, we were moving on. Remember? Yeah, but really good book. So we would go to an area and we would try spots that they'd mentioned, because it will say go, 4 kilometres down the fence line, turn right at the well, and there's the goldfields. Yeah, really good books. I've got a lot of spots highlighted in there, but
Have you?
I have. Yeah, good book. Notes and yeah, but this book's been well used and abused. But when they come out, they're about $30, and I have seen them sell up to $500. I think we've got a couple of these ones in the shop for sale. I might be around the 300 mark, but $300. What's that? It's 10 grams? No, not even. No.
No, gold's
160 there, 2 grams, and it's paid for it. And what you're going to get in return, it's just
even good reading about them too. They'll say, the nuggets were as big as potatoes in this patch. And,
look at
that sort of thing.
the photos in there. This is volume 2 of Western Australia. This one has a lot of maps in it, of showing of old claims and that. But yeah, just great reference books. Oh, that was a spot I knew there, but yeah. So they're on WA, and people might say, I don't live in WA, I live in New South Wales. Well, here's a modern book. It's called Golden Journeys, Visits to the Western Goldfields of New South Wales from 1852 to 1859. Again, you've only got to pick up on one spot in here. This book I think was about $80, I think I paid for it. But I love me books, I really do. Here's 3 of Western Australia. It's Winning the Gold, Way to the Gold, Quest for Gold.
I like that photo on the back of that one.
Which one?
That one.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you can see that, guys. That one there. But Jack Bray and wife with the golden Aussie nugget, 267.5 ounces. A stunning nugget. Yeah, nice nugget. Look, these books you would expect to pay anywhere from 80 to 120 each. They're not a very thick book, but it's not even a gram of gold.
They're WA, are they? Those ones?
Yeah, they're both WA. There is another one, I think it's Way to the Gold 2. So there's actually 4 in the set that was, So I'll have to buy that one, won't I? In Victoria, this is a good book, The History of Gold Discoveries in Victoria by James Flett. This one's a hardcover. You only probably see one hardcover to 100 soft covers, but the hardcovers are really hard to get. This one here, I sold a soft cover the other day for $150 in the shop, but the hardcover is probably about a $300 one. But yeah, hard or soft, yeah, good book. Grab them, other couple there. This is a local one, Dolly's Creek. Dolly's Creek's the goldfields our closest goldfields, which is just out of Geelong, probably, what, half an hour. I have seen this book anywhere from about $30 to $200, this one here. But I remember I bought one off Fleabay and for $30, and he hadn't sent it. It was a scam, and I got my money back. Yeah, but yeah, good reading book. Yeah, it talks about the town that was there, and there's some really great, you probably can't see it, but yeah, some really great photos of Dolly's Creek. You can pick up the Prospector's Guide books. Oh, look, anywhere from $20. Oh, there's something in there. It's a revenue receipt from the Mines Department. How much is it? 60 cents. Don't know what it's for.
On the 13th of September 1968.
Yeah.
60 cents.
Wouldn't get much for 60 cents from the Mines Department, that's for sure. This is a really good book too. It's Memoirs of Geological Survey Victoria, and it lists all the nuggets that were found in Victoria that was registered, I'll say. You know, there was a lot of big nuggets that were found that weren't registered, but these are the registered ones.
Does it say where they were found?
It does, and I used to go through it, and I had a bit of paper, and I would write down, oh, there was a nugget found there, tick that, you know, and I would go to the spots where the big nuggets were found, but I think everybody was doing that. Tells where it was found, the depth it was found, the name of the nugget, the date, the finders, and the authority at the time, and remarks. You know, one here found in a alluvial sluice box. Found in a sluice box. What size was that? Gee, 70 ounces. Would be nice to find, wouldn't it? Now, this is something that a lot of people probably don't know. The old timers never used to call it a nugget unless it was 20 ounces plus.
Okay.
So it had to be 20 ounces plus for them to call it a nugget.
So what do they call it if it was under 20 ounces?
Probably a speck.
A speck.
Yeah. So technically, I've only ever found one nugget.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, really good books. I know, you know, people that are good on computers and that you can look up a lot of things and that other than the books. But in the books, there's a lot of information that aren't on maps. You know, they're not something you can look at online. Some books you can look online. I know Gold and Ghosts are apparently online, you know, but yeah, I prefer books because you can open up the page and there it is. It's easy.
Especially if you're in the West, you don't have to worry about your internet dropping out.
No, well, yeah, that's not going to happen now. We've got Starlink. That's the best thing. Yeah, best thing we've ever bought. But anyway, but yeah, remember we used to go to Western Australia and I'd have a plastic tub full of books. You know,
And maps, old maps.
old
too.
maps. Yeah, old maps. That's another thing to talk about. Another night, I suppose. Yeah, because I find on old maps there's a lot of information that aren't on the modern maps. A lot, you know. So I remember I was in WA and I mentioned a spot to a prospector over there, and he said, "Oh, how do you know about that spot?" And I said, "Oh, it's on one of my old maps, you know." Yet it's not mentioned in the books. It's not mentioned on the modern maps, you know.
So where's the best place to look for old maps?
Gee, yeah. Used to be able to get them on the sites, you know, Gumtree and eBay and them type of thing. But I think a lot of people are awake to it now. And yeah, I used to buy old maps off there for $5 each, you know, not that long ago. But I think the more people that are coming into prospecting and the more people that are doing their research, yeah, you know, that $5 map now is probably $50 map, you know. But if it finds you, you know, a half-gram nugget, it's paid for, you know.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next, we've got the part 2 to They Once Raced Here, Newstead.
this day and age, we probably take for granted the safety features we enjoy in racing, particularly the plastic running rail. We've come to the side of the track, just off the back section. We're about to approach the home turn here, Chris. And this is a remnant of the old running rail.
Yeah, pretty good, isn't it? You know, we've certainly come a long way, and you'll see this, and I've seen this across a lot of these old courses in Victoria, right, where the rail was made out of timber. Even up in the finishing straight here, there's some concrete posts. That's not uncommon. I saw that in Cobden where they got something very similar. But, you know, yeah, very, very firm, very structured. In the earlier days of racing, they were very much against this, which is quite interesting. So in the earlier days, they forced a lot of the courses to take these sort of things out and use bamboo poles. So it's really interesting to see these here in 1968 still being allowed. Obviously crept back into racing and an important part of that. And then the other thing in front of us here too, Ed, is this is where the train line would have been, just in front of us, and you know, it was a good example again of the country courses where there was no station here, but they would have stopped the train there, people would have gone on and off, and very easy access into the course, right, to get the horses in, get the people in, you know, very important, because we are a little way out of the township of Newstead, which isn't that big, but you know, if people made their way there, walking here would have been a possibility as well. Different times, different things then.
So overall, how would you have described Newstead as far as the actual track is concerned?
I'd say that Newstead was very typical of a country track. Never heard too many complaints. I didn't read in my research and the history of a lot of accidents and things here. It's pretty flat, like it's very flat here. You know, some of them are very up and down, but apart from this rise, a little rise behind us, this is a very flat course that's pretty typical of a country race course.
This would have been one of the most popular parts of Newstead race course to spend your afternoon in, particularly when they raced here on New Year's Day. This is the bar here at the race course. No doubt plenty of people would have been cooling off under the shade and with a drink here, Chris.
I would have thought so. And you know, we're a bit lucky here at Newstead because there's quite a bit of infrastructure still in place. We've got the bar. There's additional buildings over behind us that were probably used by the jockeys, the stewards, those types of things. There are other pieces of infrastructure around here that would have been things like the lolly stall or the sweet stall. What remains here is more so than most former race courses in Victoria. There was a grandstand here, it's now long gone, but there are bits and pieces, there are remnants on this course left here, which is always good to see. Newstead's a little bit unique, you know, starting in 1860, finishing in 1968, 108 continuous years. It's quite a bit of time.
All right, we're at a bar. Might shout, Chris.
Absolutely.
Come to the far end of the track. Where we are is where the horses would have been saddled up pre-race, Chris, and then to your left would have been the jockey's room.
Yeah, so you know we don't see a lot of these saddling areas or stable type areas left, but we don't see a lot of this. But definitely where the horses would have been kept pre-race, and definitely looking to me like the jockey's room just over here. And given that we are in the saddling paddock and the maps of the course show that this is where it was, that makes a lot of sense.
Now, I reckon I've seen hundreds of racecourse roads. The road behind us is interesting though, because it's not racecourse road, it's Jockey Drive.
It is, it's Jockey Drive. And that makes sense, right? Because this was actually the Newstead Jockey Club. So most places were the such and such race club. This was originally the Newstead Jockey Club, so probably in respect of that naming.
Okay, so they once raced here at Newstead.
Talisha was just telling us that a woman who bought one today, bought it for her father to look at the old photographs and that in the book. So
Cool stuff.
they're a really good book, interesting. Yeah. Okay, Q&As.
Yes, Q&A. So first one is, what were the names of the movies, please? I think that you were talking about. But
The Detectorists. There's, I think, number 1 and 2. It's an English show of two blokes looking for relics over in England. Yeah, sort of a comedy type show, but yeah, really Yeah, I don't like the English comedy, but these ones I really like.
Don't you like English comedy?
Not some of them.
You're funny.
Each to their own. Yeah. So it's the Detectorists, the Nugget with Eric Banner in it. Look, it's not a bad movie, but lost me at the end. But yeah, I won't spoil it. But
Is that the one where they stole the gold?
No, that's
No, that's a different one.
the Great Perth Mint Swindle.
Right,
That's an interesting one. Yeah.
So that's not based on a true story.
It is, yeah, yeah, and they sold melted down nugget to Bondi, wasn't it? And but no, that's a true story. That one.
Yeah.
And Red Dog, that's just an Australian movie about a dog. There's
I think we've watched a Castle before, haven't we?
The Castle. Yeah, I'd watch that
I
again.
mean, that's just an old, an iconic sort of an Australian movie,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
So, and wasn't there another one? There was another Nugget one too. I'm pretty sure we watched more of a modern one.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think with Owen. What's his name in it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's quite a few. Yeah.
Anyway,
okay.
no, there's quite a few good ones. Okay, so who's doing the training on the 23rd as I am booked in? Now, if it's the 23rd of June, it'll be an all-inclusive tour.
Okay.
So that means you and Peter,
Yeah.
will be doing the training on that one.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll be doing the cooking. Talisha will be helping.
This is a training day for this month.
This is training. Oh, sorry.
For this month.
I thought this was WA.
Okay.
Okay. No, who's doing the training on the 23rd? Possibly Peter's usually our main training tour guy. So, off the top of my head, I'm not sure. It'll be Peter.
Probably maybe Peter and Dave.
It might be Dave, it might be Tony, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah. But, yeah.
And sometimes Paul does them too.
Yeah, true. No, we've got a good team.
Yeah. All right. Please, Darren, has anybody found gold with the Nocta Legend in gold mode?
I'll be honest here, I don't know anyone who's using a Nocta Legend.
Okay, so you don't know whether
No, I
anyone's
don't.
found gold.
No. Look, any detector's going to find gold, but some are just a lot better than others.
That's right.
You know, and I've said this before. Look at what 99.9% of the people are using. There's a reason for that. You know. Yeah.
How about at the Ballarat Fair the other day?
What?
There was a guy come past.
Oh.
He said, I can't find anything. All I can find is tin cans and rubbish.
Yeah.
And I said, what are you using? You know, which detector? He says, Garrett Ace or something. I said, that's why. And he actually got angry. He didn't like my answer at all.
Yeah.
But I was kind of just being honest, and nothing wrong with Garrett machines, but you're not going to find the gold out there with that machine because the gold just is not there for that machine will pick up.
Yeah, it won't. Yeah. But
And it's just, to us it's simple.
Yeah.
But some people don't like to hear it.
Yeah.
So-
You've got to be honest with them sometimes. I've had people on me WA tours with other brands, and we do the test comparison, and they can't hear the target, and they say, what am I going to do? I say, well, when you get home, sell it. You've got to be honest. No beating around the bush. Okay.
Okay. So, are the They Once Raised Here books in DVD format, like the video you just showed?
Yeah.
Or was that put together just for the Lucky Strike show?
Talisha, you might be able to answer this one. Do you?
The
Do you know?
books are in book format, but
Yeah.
Chris Ganley was running these promotions.
Oh yeah. So
These were the author's
promotion.
promotional videos.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah.
he was showing them on racing channels, I believe. So yeah, that's where we got them from.
Okay.
Okay, have you got a tour for North East Victoria?
North East Victoria. That would have to be up in the high country. Look, I don't know a lot about the high country. from what I believe, there's lots of finer gold up there, and that's why a lot of the, Melbourne detectorists and people from that area come up to the Golden Triangle because they're chasing the bigger stuff. I have bought a 5-ounce nugget that was found in the high country. It was a very flat one with it sort of turned over. So there is probably bigger gold up there, but I'm just not familiar where. And if it's anything like, say, Blackwood, most of your bigger gold is halfway up the hills because it hasn't had a chance to get down into the river systems. Gets caught up in the slates up on the hills. But yeah, I've never spent much time in that.
So in short, no, sorry, we don't do tours up in northeast Victoria.
No,
at this stage.
probably be good for panning and that, up there, but I don't know about detecting. And then the laws up in the national parks and that up that way, I don't know. Yeah.
Is there a Facebook for northeast Victoria?
A race book.
Oh, sorry,
A race book.
A race book. Have one of these books got northeast Victoria in it?
Yeah.
We'll have to check that one out for you,
Yeah,
actually.
because there's 3 volumes that he brings out, so yeah.
There are, and I think there's pretty much, I doubt whether there is actually, because there's pretty much one on the Goldfields area. Central Goldfields was the first one, and then he brought out, I think, the Gippsland one, and then he brought out like the Otways.
Yeah, Western sort of way.
Otways and
Yeah.
Western. So I don't think, but we'll check that out for the next time we're on.
Okay.
Okay, now one of our customers, Julie,
Hey, Julie.
and she says our record is 23 nuggets from one hole.
Wow.
That is so cool, Julie.
I wonder what size they were.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Benny Gold's nice gold.
So clearly,
Yeah.
Julie is checking the holes that the gold's coming out of.
Yeah. And I know sometimes I've gone over other people's old detecting holes and got a noise. I thought, no, I'll look at it, and I've got gold out of them. So it's either because they couldn't find that little target, and they've left it, or they've got one out and walked away. I think
And
And
I'll tell you what, a pinpointer makes things much easier to find those little
and the
nuggets.
and then bigger ones at depth. Yeah.
True.
All right.
Okay, apparently there will be a celebrity on your Minelab WA trip. Do we know of a celebrity?
No,
Is Gary Ablett coming? No?
not what I know
Don't
of.
think so.
I know he wants me to take him out, but that's another story. I don't know. Apparently there will be a celebrity on your mind.
Might be a Minelab celebrity. There's a Minelab celebrity coming. So yes, there is.
Yeah. Okay, next one.
Okay, what wireless speaker system would you recommend for the SDC 2300?
Personally, when I've used an SDC, I just like the built-in speaker. I know on a windy day it's hard a little bit to hear, but that's what I prefer. And if it's a windy day, well, you just put your headphones on, but I can't.
So just in case the question is that they don't want to use that one, what would you suggest?
You could buy maybe an SPO1, which will amplify the sound, and then plug in your headphones or your speaker into that. But I just don't see the point of it. Might as well just use the speaker that's on the machine, even though it's sort of on the wrong side, because if you're a right-handed person, the speaker is on the right-hand side of the machine. But there is things that we sell that divert that sound up towards you. Yeah, shells,
Like
trumpets and that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What would be the best way to extract gold from ironstone?
Hammer.
I thought you were going to say something really scientific.
No, look, if you've got a specimen and it's in ironstone, I think I talked about it a couple of shows ago, the hydrochloric acid, which is Bricky's acid, and that will eat away that ironstone and the gold will retain in its natural shape. But it really depends on the specimen, whether it's worth doing that. You know, if it's only a little bit in the ironstone, the hammer or dolly pot. But if it's something nice and unique and you want to keep the gold, yeah, just the hydrochloric acid. But the trouble is, a lot of the acid you buy now from Bunnings, it's pretty weak. Yeah, it's very weak.
It seems to have got weaker, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, and dearer.
And dearer.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I think, any more questions, Leash? No, that's about it. Yeah, there won't be a show, like we said, next Tuesday, because someone over there is going on a cruise. So
Talisha's off on a cruise this weekend.
yeah, so yeah.
Lucky thing, comedy cruise, isn't it? Though?
Yeah, so lucky you. So yeah.
So she'll come back with all the good jokes for you.
Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, no one next Tuesday.
So we'll be back the following one.
Following
so
one.
fortnight.
With yeah. Okay, guys. I think that's about it. The winners.
Yeah.
Oh, nearly forgot about that. You can announce the winners.
Okay, so the winners of the first aid kits are Frog Kitty Smith. Congratulations.
Well done.
And Mark Albion. So congratulations.
Another one. Well done.
Mark and Frog Kitty.
Yeah. Okay.
So just contact the store or come in and pick up your first aid kit, or we'll send it out to you if you contact the store.
All right. Okay, that's it. Hopefully you got something out of the night, guys. Like I said, one thing that can help you find more gold. And as our Dave, our tour guide, would say, pleasant gold dreams. Cheers.
See ya.